The Game Social has released the new FAQ about Age of Sigmar 4th edition Skaventide, the 28th May 2025. First of all, it's a minor update because there's been a little adjustment about the Soulblight Gravelords Battletome that has been released this month, and there's been some little adjustment because you have to remember that soon, the next month, there will be the release of the new General Handbook 2025-26 that will change quite a lot of things, so it will be that change. So now we see about the battle profiles and rules update that are quite small about. Then remember that there's been a little update about the legend compendium and the regiment of renown, so that if you're interested, you go to see about the regiment that you're interested with. And remember that the other highlights that we can see are referred about the Scourge of Giran, that are anticipation of alternative version for units and anticipation of the General Handbook 25-26 that we are going to see in the next month. And here are really quite important. So eventually remember to see about the file if you're interested about the various Scourge of Giran ones. And remember that on the Warhammer community site there are about the points, so you have to find the relative article and you'll find the points and the description about how to use that unit. It's really quite intriguing as option because it allows you really to change the way that you create your roosters without really change your army. So it's quite intriguing and I quite like such options. I hope that in the future there will be such type of things because you can update something without have to wait for a new Battletome Soulblight. It's really quite interesting, so I quite like such thing. So now let's start to see about the battle profiles and rules updates. So let's start with the battle profiles and rules update. Here there's been really quite few of change because the most part of these that has been changed are related about the regiment of renown, but only for a few armies. So City of Sigmar remain the same. There's been a little update about the Daughters of Cain for the Hakuin on Caldon of Blood. Then Fire Slayers are the same. Same about the Idon Deepkin. That remember soon we will receive a new Battletome that has been announced, so it's really quite interesting in that way. Then we can find the Caradon Overlord that are exactly the same. Then the Luminate Realm Lords, exactly the same. The Seraphon has seen some update for the regiment option for the Skinks part, so Skink Oracle on Trogodon, Skink Star Priest, Skink Star Sea, and Stegodon Chief. Then we can see about the Stomach Satanas that are exactly the same, so nothing to see here. And then we have the Sylvanet and the Beast of Chaos. About the Sylvanet and the Beast of Chaos, I want to remind you that has been released or going to be released the Arcane Journals and the new armies, but the older armies again available for Old World for these two ones. So it's interesting in that way if you are going to play with the Old World. And remember that soon the Beast of Chaos will go to be moved on the legend part for Age of Sigmar, but I still hope that they will receive something so that at least they have a new Battletome, something that going on to substitute them, at least a document that make them still available, because it would be a pity to lose such part of important background. So I'm quite curious to see what will happen. Blades of Corn are the same with the Disciple of Cinch. Edenito Slanish, same. Magdrin Nargon, nothing to change for now. Skaven 2, okay. And then we can go to see about the Slate to Darkness, that again doesn't see any change at all. Fresh Eater Curse, again the same. Then I Taunt, here remember that soon there will be the release of the new Battletome. It's going to be released in some month. So here for now are the same, but soon we've seen some change, and I'm quite curious to see what will happen with this army. Then the Osebo Reaper, nothing changed, and okay, I'm content about this. And then how about the Soulblight Gravelords? Here there are something to notice. First of all, there are some notes about the Blades of Hollow King and Kado Ezekiel that sincerely they were highlighted even before like this, so I don't understand what has changed, but okay. At least you know that you can't play both of them together, but it was obvious because one is Kado Ezekiel by itself, another it's Kado Ezekiel with its followers. So it's the same technically model because okay, good to know anyway. I'm still searching for the Virkus Retainer and for the deathrattle overseer because I don't know what there are. I don't have any new about these things. So I hope that we see something in the new edition, maybe because I don't see any regiment that it's called like this. So okay, I don't know why they could be called like that. But there is one thing that it's important to notice, and it's about the Barrow Knights. Here, it's important because I want to remind you that there has been some discussion about the price of such unit, because there was a document that it was at the end of April that it said that it was 190 points, and another document that it was released before, but it was referred to May, that it was 210. So it was a bit of mess, and because technically the last one that it was at the end of April, it was about 190 points. It was the official one, not counting the part about the app, because on the app it was 210, but it happened quite often that the app has some misplaces about rules and the points, so it's not something that it's official like a document like this. So for now, they are not anymore any misunderstanding. It's the Baron Knight costing 210 points. And okay, sincerely had to rethink some of my rooster, but it's not a problem because anyway, it's something that it was uncertain and now it's for sure like this. Then we had the Bone Splitter, the same, the Gloomspite kits that are the same for the Iron Jaws. Then the Cool Boys, exactly the same, the Ogre Mode Trice. As you can see, they don't change quite much. Regiment or None are the same, and we can continue even with the legends that are exactly the same. Soon there will be a great change about the legend because the Pistol Chaos, but okay, we know about this. And then we can go to see about the rules update. Here we can see that there have been quite a few changes because there's been really few ones. The rules are exactly the same, other than little change about here for if an ability add or subtract from the number of dice that make a charge roll is that modified to the charge roll. It say no, technically it is, but at the same time it's not a change about the result, but a change about the number of dice. So it's at the same time the same working. And here it's interesting about the shooting. When a unit use a shoot ability, that it has to shoot with all of the ranged weapon that it is armed with, and they say yes. This is quite interesting because it means that you have to, you not can choose to. So you can't decide to only shoot some weapon and other not, but you have to choose better to do this for all the ranged weapon that you have. So it's something that it's better to be specified so that it avoid any misunderstanding, because eventually you could try to avoid some damage or control something. So it's quite interesting such adding. Then we can continue. We can see that really few things has changed, and even in the advanced rules we can't find something that has been changed. So it's not bad because it means that it's quite stable and I quite like. There's been a little change about the Path to Glory Ascension. For it, okay, you have only to take note if you play with Path to Glory. The Grocery is the same for the Match Play, First Blood, the Spearhead, Fire and Jade, again the same. As I said, Spearhead, it's quite stable. It changed quite rarely about. Then the part about the General Handbook 24-25. Here there's not been any change, but soon we'll forsake about this part and we have the part about the 2025-26. Remember about this. Then we see the part about the faction packs. Here, as usual, go to see this for your own army, because maybe there is some little change that you can be interested about, and so you have to take note. So a little verify every time, it's better, because you are conscious about the changes. As you can see, the most part of them are still the same. That doesn't change quite easily, but still there are some changes. For example, there is something about here a little more about the facts, and here you have to think if it's something that it's something that you are interested about. Or again about here, for example, the Maltinonargo and the Osteoboripe. And about the Osteoboripe is something that it's always fact, this part, because it's about the course of the year. So at the 2+ stage of the effect course of the year, if I roll one or more 2+, can I keep rolling extra dice and inflicting mortal damage on the target until a 1 is rolled? And see, no. So it means that at 2+, you end the rolling. And it's quite important a string to not make that it can completely vaporize units. It can do, but it's much more difficult than it's technically infinite rolling. So it's something that you have to take notice. And then we can see that you had the other digital ones. So the regiment Renault has seen some little change about the Standard Garnison and the Neferata Royal Echelons, but here I referred about the change of name of what it was the Great Guard that now it's Barrow Guard, and about the Black Knights that now are the Barrow Knights. So a little change that it was understandable. Anyway, we have seen that in the Soulblight Gravelord part there's been the definition and the clarifying about such change. Here it's repeated, but it's okay, because if you missed one part, you have from the other, so not a problem. Then there's been some update about the Orc War class. Here I admit that they continue to update almost the same parts. It's really quite a continued adjusting about this. Okay, I don't like, but at the same time, okay, they try to keep update and correct every problem that could be happening. Then we can go to see about the Skaven that doesn't have any change. The Slave to Darkness has this part about the Path to Glory. So again, a small part if you're interested about. Again, nothing about the facts. And here we have something related about the Battletome Soulblight Gravelords. Here it's really quite interesting, but at the same time, it's something that it's understandable, because there are really few things. So about the Spearhead, deathrattle, Tomb Host, here technically it's better, because here the change is that they declare the King of Stumble Bones for the Spearhead, deathrattle, Tomb Host, and make that pick a friendly unit wholly within 12 inch of this unit to be the target. The difference here is that it's missing what is in the book, that it's the deathrattle keyword. So it means that this is more ample to use and it's much better, so I quite like. Now we have the Laukabai monsters that make that in the decreasing step of Impaling Tones, replace charge this phase with charge this turn. It's a little change, but it's important. So it's okay, I can understand. It's a little phrasing, but I can change something little about the mechanics, eventually what turn it's happening. So okay, because remember that you can eventually counter charge and so on, so it's not bad at all. Then about Belladama Volga First of the Vehicles that make that under a Killing Moon replace add 1 to the rand characteristic of the target melee weapons to add 1 to the rand characteristic of the target melee weapons, but including companion weapons. This is crazy because it means that you can amplify these, and it's really quite wonderful. And it's strange that they not raised the price point for this model after this change, because it's quite important. And then we can see about the Stomach Satanas that are practically the same. And we have done the Path to Glory Ravage Coast that remain the same, other than there is a new FAQ. So as you've seen, little things that has been changed, so nothing particular or so on. But remember, this it's a sort of little update, so it's a little adjustment, and then there will be the next one, because there will be the release in June, the part about the new General Handbook 24-25, that will be the main change, and so there we see quite a lot of reshuffling, so it will be really quite interesting. Still, I am quite curious to know if you are waiting for some change, you are interested about this Scourge of Giran that it's been updated day by day, or if you like what has been changed and you are satisfied with the actual edition. I'm quite curious about, write in the comment. Anyway, from deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again, to the next time.